Nigeria Info 99.3. Good morning to you, Lagos. Once again, welcome to the second part of Dailies today. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
And I'm Jimi. Disu. Good morning.
You can watch live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nigeria Info 99.3. Facebook, you can like our page, Nigeria Info 99.3 as well, and you'll be able to get the notification anytime we come here on live on Facebook as well. So let's get started on the show this morning. We're going to start from the back page of the Punch newspaper. This column by Abimbola Delakun. Yes, Oga's favorite columnist.
I don't know favorite columnist.
And this one reads, "So now you can be arrested by a tomato."
Okay, you know, I grew up when there was no social media. The television would come on at 4 o'clock and close by, I think, 11. The only station then was owned by government. And the same applied to radio. Radio was Radio Nigeria. I don't remember that there were private radios in the 70s. The only private newspaper that you had, Daily Times, Obasanjo seized it, I think, in 1975 by Fiat. Yeah, it was owned by, I think, they had shareholders and things, but the promoters of the paper included the later Lakija. I mean, so we depended, and as time came on, we depended on reading columns. That's where I got the habit from, columns and cartoons. So I still have that habit till today, and Adelakun is one of my favorite columnists. Another one is Olufason of the Vanguard. But let's see what Adelakun says. So now you can be arrested by a tomato, or what my people will call tomati. Okay, so what she's talking about really is the impunity with which people are arrested on sometimes the most frivolous accusation, and especially when it involves government or politicians. They can find one thing to just get you arrested and throw you off balance. I'm sure you're smiling, you know about the recent one that we had. So she says that one of the things that have come to detest about Nigeria is how individuals, especially the ones with means, the big boys, VIPs, the vagabonds in power, get to use security agencies like they are personal thugs. I mean, you can see it. We don't need to go too far. Go to the social media and see what's going on there. Once upon a time in Nigeria, when you needed to settle scores without recourse to the law, you hired urchins from a motor park to beat up people. These days, you use the police or the DSS for the same purpose. And she gives an example. She says many instances of people using security agents to abuse others do not make it to the news, but all the ones that do reflect the shameful fact that Nigeria has too many puny-sized gods in high places. The latest example is the case of Chioma Okoli, a Facebook user who shared her thoughts on a brand of tomato paste, Nagigo Tomato Mix, on social media. She complained that the product contained too much sugar and suggested it might be harming people. Boom! She was arrested and has since been transferred to the police headquarters in Abuja. Police headquarters in Abuja. And so she does an analysis of that and then makes a referral to the one that we all know. And she says, take another recent example of the Ogun State local government chairman, Wale Adedayo, who petitioned authorities that their state governor, Dr. Abiodun, had hijacked allocations meant for local government. What he alleged surprised no one. There is a reason the local government in Nigeria is comatose. The wonder is that one person eventually spoke up, but that other local government chairpersons have been and are still quiet about it. In a state where governors are not above accountability, the response would be to disprove the claim. Because it is Nigeria, the DSS arrested Adedayo instead. It wasn't the DSS, it was the police. And
she was invited by the DSS.
The DSS, but he was arrested by the police.
And arraigned.
And she goes on to say another one recent example of the DSS being used for personal scores happened when the official was summoned by a named Nigerian whose tailor did not deliver on their promise. Something one hears in Nigeria and one's head boss. How does anyone consider it appropriate to call a DSS official to harass a tailor in the market? How did the officer not think it was beneath their professional profile? That is an indication of how unserious that organization has become. And she goes on and on. She gives a few other examples and concludes by saying it was bad enough when politicians and regular individuals used the police or the DSS to harass regular citizens. Now things have degenerated to the point that even a business operation thinks that is the way to address issues. Gone are the days when customers were always right because buying something with their money gives them the privilege to be right or wrong about the assessment of a product. I think she's referring to the tomato issue. This tomato issue, I didn't quite understand. Did you hear about it?
Yes, I did. But I didn't read exactly what the lady wrote on the social media.
And how she wrote it.
Yes, so be that as it may, even though because I didn't read it, I couldn't pass judgment on what she wrote. Because
course, yes.
that could also border on whether she's damaging people's reputation and business reputation and all of that.
And whether there was cyber stalking.
Yeah, of some sort.
Or whether she actually asked for Roger, didn't get it, and then went to write something.
Yeah. So be that as it may, I would still fault the makers of that Najiko tomato. And the reason I would fault them is the fact that if you are displeased with the review of any of your customers and you feel that would impact negatively on your brand or your business, then sue the person. Why did you have to get the police to arrest the person?
No, nobody wants to sue anybody. You will arrest them on a
Take
Friday.
the person to court.
You will arrest them on a Friday.
That's abuse of power. That's abuse of whatever it is that you have. Because I'm not even going to call it privilege, because you're not supposed to be privileged to have a police.
But Sheriff, there are no surprises here. I was looking at some incident that took place in the Jebode yesterday or before, and the policemen that I could see on duty from the various videos that I saw, policemen that I could see on duty, and some security guys that were dressed in suits. I don't know whether they were DSS. Were enough to form a battalion.
Ooh.
Yes, every musician came with 2, 3. And then we must start standing up to these VIPs. And I'm going to start it. This idea, if you feel too important or you feel so unsafe, don't come to it.
Don't go for
this
it.
idea of there was a table, everybody on that table had somebody standing behind them.
Why? What?
So you would block the view, and it just made the ambience look horrible. Our people should learn to resist these things. We keep seeing things that are bad and say nothing. And I remember there was a time in Moshalashi Jimo, many years back. So a VIP came in late for Jumat. Okay. And you know that in Islam, once they say Safu, everybody should move and follow the line.
That's right.
And as the VIP came in, as the VIP came in, they say whoever was leading prayer then he stopped and was now hailing the man like a musician.
Oh,
this kind of thing. Guess who saved the day that day? It was a woman. I heard that story that it was a woman. From where they were, they shouted and said, "Look, we came here to pray. We didn't come here to meet any Baba this or Baba that that start the prayer." There was going to be an uproar that they quickly started the prayer. So we need to stand up to these people. I will not take it. I will not be at a public function and one nonsense guard will be standing right in front of me because he's guarding the man sitting down. And it has now become a terrible habit. These habits we need to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, when Fashola was governor of Lagos, he came to one private function that I attended. He walked in with only one person. And as soon as he sat down, the person sat a safe distance. This idea of having people, that is not security. Security is, let's say that I need to protect myself. I would have told you, Sheriff, I'll need 4 invitations. If you are going to put me on table 1, these 4 invitations, I'd like them on table 2. Table 2 and table 3. So 2 here, 2 there. They are sitting down quietly before I even come in. That is security. But it's a bad habit. You know, these some vagabonds in power, like name them, because a lot of people, if only Mama could see me now. Most of these people were boys quarters boys now. What is all this? And all of a sudden, and because of the economic downturn and so on and so forth, there are people who are ready. I won't be surprised if some people are not security men for hire with fake ID cards and fake uniform. You can put get two people so uniform na cloth na tailor this one, put it on one person and say, oh yeah, let's go. So this impunity must stop. I don't want to comment about this second one that she did because I don't know what language our friend used in making his claim. Whether he insinuated that the governor actually had swiped the money. If I were him, I would have chosen my words carefully to say that he has not paid us. That's all. He has not paid one sentence, and you'll be free.
So wait. If someone refuses to pay me or has refused to pay, pay me since 20 what again? There's nothing. So why is he keeping a money that was budgeted for 5 years ago?
OT. Some consultant was on radio yesterday trying to justify. Don't go on radio. Publish the paper of allocation in the papers.
Write it.
That's all.
Just pay for pages.
Photocopy, pay for pages
on major newspapers and show that it's a simple thing to do.
Signed for.
It's record. If it's been disbursed or if it was disbursed to the local government, it's published. Let's see.
I will give the other local government chairmen notice. That I will give them notice. It's not a threat, just notice that history will also hold them responsible and complicit.
That's right.
If that guy's claim is true. History, and they forget that history never forgets.
Nope.
You could be a local government chairman today, tomorrow you want to run for governorship. These are the kind of things that people will fish out. Were you there for the people? Because at the end of the day, it is the people that are shortchanged. That is the sad part of it all. It is, and so if you can't stand up for your people, if you can't make a move, if you are still in that, then you are not a representative of the people.
At the end of the day, this Adedayo guy would be the hero of his people.
Definitely.
Most of his other colleagues will be forgotten in a few years' time.
Definitely.
It's as simple as that.
And not just that. You see, let us have a sense of history and a sense of analysis of the future. I'm not talking from a prayer standpoint. I'm talking from a possibility standpoint. This time, 2-3 months from now, Nigeria might not be the same. It might not be the same personnel. If anything at all, at the top. Because the odor that pervades this country now indicates that there's a 60 to 70% likelihood that there could be a change at some levels. So where would you be?
Where would you be?
Where would you be? That's why I keep telling this gentleman who is my friend. I've never met him, but I've followed him. He did a few things good when he did palliatives and so on and so forth. But these people never listen to advice. They listen to people who keep urging them on. I've had friends who have been in power. Long after, I remember telling one, I said, the day you leave this seat, you will know who your true friends are, because I don't know how to tell somebody a lie. I can't do it. I'm not wired that way. Well, I mean, you lie in some cases, social media, they tell madam, go to the bookshop and head to, those ones are permissible. Let's go to the next story.
Let's go pick our next story. All right. We're going to leave the Punch. Let's go to the Vanguard right away. Page 7 of the Vanguard. How our mother killed father in his sleep with pestle.
If you are not strong-minded, go to the kitchen and put on water. By the time you come back, we would have finished this story. Because it is worrying if you are not strong-minded. It says a 12-year-old boy, 12, Ibukun Solomon, has narrated how his mother, Taye Lulu, that's a twin, killed his father, Felix, with a pestle while sleeping. Pestle, for those of you who don't know, pestle is what you use for pounded yam, the pestle, okay? After a minor argument in Ondo town. Are you from Ondo?
No, you know where I'm from.
Oh, yes. I won't do it.
Yeah, that fine
I won't
city,
do
you know,
it.
a very quiet. Well, you know, let's drop the paper. Let's talk about Ondo people.
No, let's talk about.
It's
a touchy subject.
Do you know that Ondo people are one of the nicest people in the South?
Oh yeah, I have no doubts about that. No doubt.
Like they're very.
If anybody should know, I should know.
How?
That's none of your business.
I want to know.
I will call police for you.
You must explain now.
I will call police for you. Let me quickly read this before we start talking about those people. I'll call police for you. It says, Vanguard gathered that the mother of 3 reportedly killed, the man was 65, by hitting him 3 times with a pestle. Okay, you know, when those people, they eat a lot of inyon.
Oh, yes.
And they have, in their house in GRA, they were middle class people if they lived in GRA. That the couple in recent times have been having crisis, and the wife was always threatening to kill the husband, and they look and then so over the weekend, the man went to sleep on the chair, and the wife reportedly hit him several times with a pestle. Ibuku told newsmen, "My mother killed my father with a pestle in my presence and took to her heels. She used the pestle to hit his head when he was asleep." Haba. Earlier on the fateful day, a minor argument had ensued between them that resulted in a fight. After the fight, my father went to lay on the chair, and my mother hit his head with the pestle. He became unconscious in the process and fell down from the chair. My mother used the pestle to hit my father's head 3 times until he died. Then, so when my mother saw that my father was unconscious, she hid the pestle at the back of her house and ran away. And he alerted some whatever. So I feel so sorry for the boy. I hope the family will quickly take him in. And he's going to need counseling in case the family are listening. Don't just take him in and, give him sweets and whatever. No, he's going to need to take him very, very quickly. Where are they? They're in Ondo. Go to the teaching hospital there, and I hope the government would also step in to make sure that boy is because he's an orphan now, because the mother is gone and the dad is dead. That trauma needs to be handled so well.
That's too much. That's too much for a child.
Yeah, it's too much for a child. And it's also a reflection. I'm not making excuses for the woman. Don't get me wrong. But it is also a reflection of the level of pressure that people are facing now. The level of pressure is very, very high. People are touchy, and very, very high. And unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any lights in the horizon. Rather, it looks like a dark alley that's getting darker by the day.
What I would say is that if you're in an abusive relationship,
just leave.
Just leave. Don't wait, because you may be the victim, or you may be the victim. However you look at it,
you could either be the accused. Yes.
Yeah, if you take the law into your hands, you still end up being the victim. If the other party, hurts you, to the point that you're just there, you are still the victim. And in any case, the other part where you are the one that take law into your own hands, you are not just only the victim, but you've also, harmed yourself, because you had the opportunity to leave, to walk away, and you didn't walk away at that time.
Maybe we'll also call on families to keep an eye on the people, on their persons, to see if there's any sign of mental instability. That's another thing we need to look out for. With the rate of suicide that we have now, we do have mental issues. Also because of how bad hunger can, poverty, The woman looks. The way she's standing here, she
It's
looks
quite
tough.
unfortunate. Well, that's the way she's standing.
Yeah, you look at her.
Some people
Her
can.
mien,
Some people can be like that,
but they'll be soft
but
on the
they're
inside.
very soft. Yes, they're very soft.
Is it compulsory that you must be married?
I
don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
No,
I really don't think so.
I don't
I
think so.
what is compulsory is your mental health, your happiness.
And physical health.
Yeah,
Because
she should take care of that.
apart from mental health, if you're in a bad marriage, especially as a man, there'll be no need for you to be afraid that they want to steal the things that they said they were stealing the other day.
Let's
Because
move on.
you won't need it.
Yeah, you won't be needing it.
It won't work. Okay, so we have the story in. We're looking at the Punch now. We have the story there. Ondo woman kills husband with pestle, kidnapped commissioner with family from captivity. Nasarawa students abductions slash ransom 2.5 million, 500,000. A man backs 14 years for robbing a bartender. Varsity graduate attempts suicide over withheld results. There's a lot of this going on, and I'm beginning to think that some of these suicide attempts are done deliberately to gain sympathy and other things. There was one that wanted to jump from the Falomo Bridge. You didn't see the video. Wanted to jump from the Falomo Bridge to the ground. But the video went out.
Oh, yeah, that one. I saw it. I saw it.
But the video went out that showed one man jumping, he actually did jump into the water. And I wondered who had the presence of mind to
record that.
Sanwo-Olu gives traders 2-day ultimatum to vacate train tracks. He's still trying to clean up the environment. I'd like to go back to my suggestion, in case anybody wants to take it, to make your job easier. In the areas that are populated, that housing areas and so on and so forth, it's now time for you to make everybody responsible for the front of his house. So instead of running after and seizing goods and, videos, gathering sympathy and so on and so forth, just go and paste a notice on the owner of the house or the owner of the land with the threat of forfeiture. So that leaves your job for the public areas. Do you understand? Because they go to some neighborhoods and begin to demolish kiosks and so on and so forth. Is a waste of time. All you need to do is give the owner of the house a notice. You need the House of Assembly to amend the laws that first, second time, on the third time, you will forfeit your house. Then you sit back and look for one or two examples. Once you've done that, people will sit up. All countries are the same. All people on this earth are the same. Where there is no enforced law, people will do whatever they like. So don't think that when I went to England, you need to enforce the law. Okay, and the video that went viral about the people that were arrested and their goods were taken at Magodo, it presents a problem. It presents a problem. What you probably need to do is when you seize the goods, you document it.
Yeah.
You take them to the court or tribunal or whatever it is, and after they've paid the fine, they can go and collect their goods. Once you do that, rather than because all those bananas and things and the yams that I saw there, if your husband walks in Kai and he brings home a tuber of yam, ask him very well, where did you buy it? How much? Don't go and put something that is stolen in your belly.
It's called egun.
Is that egun?
Egun.
And also, a part of the environmental whatever going on is the Agbado Okeodo market has been sealed. Anytime from now, we were going to do it today, but we can't. Mr. Tokubo Wahab is busy, the commissioner, but he has promised to come to the studio to give us a complete rundown of this new exercise. The lesson to learn from all this, Governor, is that to save yourself having to go every 1 or 2 years and start, like one of your people said, start parrying. I don't like that word. All you need to do, once you have cleared, make sure that the law is enforced. Your law your laws on Okada now are being ignored. Not only do you have Okada in central Lagos, the new habit now is to drive in the opposite direction. You're taking a curve on the bridge. You just get confronted by an Okada coming in the opposite direction. So we have the trust. Ex-Kannywood actress seeks divorce from singer G Fresh. Who is this one now? Ex-Kannywood actress Sadiya Aruna has dragged her husband, known as G Fresh, before a Sharia court seeking divorce. NSCDC arrests one over human trafficking prostitution in Ekiti. So what else do we have? Nothing much anyway. Nothing much. It's all crime. Look at a suspect went to steal rams. So they tied his hands and tied his two hands to the two rams.
Funny picture.
Okay, all right. So that's about all that we have in that area.
Yes, and we have to go.
You have to go finish.
Yes, we're done.
Come,
And we still
tell me.
have.
How can we lobby? This program must go 1 hour. I'm going to start something. If you want this program to go for 1 hour, please start calling in and writing in.
No, don't do that. Just bring money.
You can't threaten me with that.
It's not a threat.
You can't threaten me with that.
It's not a threat. No.
Make the time available and I'll bring the money.
Let's be going now. Let's be going. Kofi will be here with the remaining parts of the morning crossfire. Thank you, sir, for coming.
All right, bye-bye.
Because that's our show. Stay here on Nigeria Info 99.3.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3